The Ecoflow River 2 300 watt power bank. Let's see if this will be your next companion on your next camping trip. Today's video is sponsored by Ecoflow River 2. All right, let's dive right in. Ecoflow River 2. You're looking for a small power bank. You're looking for something to charge devices, keep things running. We've been testing this for about a month now, and we're surprised all the different things you can run with it. So let's go around the outside of the Ecoflow River 2 first. First off, we're going to talk about the front here. You've got your AC ports. You've got an AC button below that turns on this section. You've got a USB here. You've got a C in the middle, another B. You've got the display in the center of the device. You press the button here, this turns the device on, and then you press the button on the right side below the 12 volt cigarette plug, so you have 12 volt DC accessories. It's small, it's lightweight. We come around this side and there's nothing but just some badging. We look on the back and we have our AC port, so we can plug it in to recharge it, and we have a port here for plugging in solar panels. The handle is here built into the back, so the top is relatively flat design, and then on the far side here it's just completely flat. The back here also, underneath the handle area, is your vent area. That's where your fan runs, to let excessive air out of the device. Your fan is located here in the middle, in the back. As far as ergonomics, it's very lightweight. When you lift it like this, it's a little bit, it's interesting design because the handle is off center. The weight is all on the left side. That's one thing I noticed right away. It does not make it any harder to carry around. Just something I noticed with having the handle off center, you tend to have all the weight on the left side when you're carrying it along your side. Is that a problem carrying around? Absolutely not. So just something I observed. The top has what it looks like is built-in screws, all four corners. It's kind of a industrial design on the top. And the feet has little rubber pads to keep it from sliding around. It's very lightweight. That's the first thing I noticed. This thing is like 30% lighter than its predecessor, the River. They went from the River, which was around 11 pounds. They've upgraded the River 2 to around 7 pounds. So it's that much lighter. They've taken a lot of weight out of it. The things that we've plugged in and used with this were a laptop. We had no issues powering our MacBook Air. We tried a cell phone, no problems with a cell phone. We also tried plugging in a Bluetooth speaker, running all those devices at the same time, had no issues at all. If you're looking to run a coffee pot, you're gonna have to go up to the bigger brother. Coffee pot, it wouldn't even fire it up, gave us an overload error, which I liked. It was great. We wanted to power something higher than what it can hold, and we noticed that the overload error code came on the screen and it would not power it up. Protection, that's built-in protection, and that's what you want in a power bank, is to make sure it has built-in protection. And if you get an overload situation, that it will shut down your power bank to protect your batteries. All right, so one of the tests we did was with CPAP. I don't personally use CPAP, but my parents use CPAP, so they have a ResMed unit, and theirs is about 4 or 5 years old. Their units do not have 12 volts, so we're just using the AC side. Running on the Ecoflow River 2, he got about 4.5 hours. So about 4 or 5 a.m. he had to unplug it and he had to plug it back into the wall. So that kind of ended the test. But so will it get you through a full night? So you might be able to get one night out of it. Obviously running AC will get you a little less runtime because you've got a conversion going AC to DC with these power banks, but your mileage is going to vary. So that would just give you a brief idea of how long runtime you would have with a CPAP. Some of the other things that we tried running that were way out of this league of this small power bank, just to test it to its max, we tried Dometic Fridge. So if you're going away for several hours, you could definitely run a Dometic Fridge off this. We got about 8% per hour it was pulling from this. Now, that was with some warm drinks in a Dometic Fridge, sitting in our house with equal temperatures, so not getting in and out of it very often, just kind of plugging it in and seeing what it could do. If you had a larger power bank powering your Dometic Fridge, you could run that, and if you needed to recharge that, this could definitely step in and fill the gap You could plug this in for a period of time, several hours, while you recharge your larger power bank and then swap them. So if you're just going to the beach or a lake house and you just need power for a few hours, you could power your Dometic Fridge. Outside of that, not designed for the larger devices. We'll do 300 watts, but it has a surge capacity. They call it the X surge. It'll go up to 600 watts for startup. So you know, your certain devices will say it's rated to 300, but with that surge, that device goes a little bit higher to get over that. One thing we tested was an Amazon small basic heater that we'd use in our teardrop. Settling out about 330. So I've got this Amazon basic heater that any small trailer teardrop owner is going to have, something small like this. You can get these in 125s, 250s, and this is a 400 watt Amazon basic heater that we use for camping. With this running, with this having the built-in 600 watt surge ability, but 300 watt capacity, this will run 24 minutes. So you're going to want to turn it on for 5-10 minutes, warm up your cabin. Maybe you take the chill off in the morning. This is not going to run it all night, but it will run it. So if you needed to have a little bit of extra heat and you got your Ecoflow along, you could definitely take the chill off in your teardrop trailer. Now you want to hear how loud it is? I'll try to put this by my mic. Can you hear it? So it kicks on that fan. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a 4 or 5. Talk about some of the features that I like. One, this thing will recharge in about an hour's time, 0 to 100. Amazing. A lot of these power banks now are coming with fast charging, and it's absolutely a must when you're shopping for a power bank nowadays, is make sure it has fast charging. And the Ecoflow River 2 has built-in fast charging. So 0 to 100 in about 60 minutes. It has a gorgeous display. When we powered it up, it's got that beautiful LED screen, and it gives all its data and information in there. Your watts in, your watts out, your how much you've got to recharge time, and how much you got to depletion time. This is the LiPo 4 system. The one thing I took away from this one that I thought was very interesting is the charge cycles. They advertise if you use it once a day, you could go 10 years on this thing. That's a lot. Most of them, when you're talking a 300, you're probably going to get in the area of 500 charge cycles. That's every time it cycles down and then cycles back up. You're going to get about 500 of those before you're going to need to replace this. They advertise 3,000 charge cycles for this 300 watt. That's pretty incredible. Obviously, there's no way to really test that outside of having it for a 10-year period. So check my review in 10 years. Solar charging, solar panels, that plugs into the back of the device here, and they advertise about 3 hours to fully charge this in full sun, optimal conditions. They were 100 watt panels with an MPPT controller to regulate your power consumption and your power in to recharge the device. It has a built-in smart control app, and we tested the app. The app seems pretty intuitive. It needed a firmware update right away when we loaded the app. It connects over our Wi-Fi network and then connected to the device. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, and we'll be able to monitor devices input in and out, and then power consumption, that kind of thing remotely. Do I feel like that's, a thing you need to shop for? No, I don't. The screen here tells me everything nowadays. I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at that. But if you're traveling, this is in the back of the car, you've got it plugged in, you want to see what your power consumption is, that kind of situation, then maybe you use the app, or you're using it for a remote location, you could use the app. And the app worked really well. Some of the apps I've used for these power banks are not real good. This one was very well done. If you have this plugged in as an EPS, an emergency power supply for a device or something like that, and the power kicks out and you have this set up for that, in about 30 milliseconds this thing will kick in. So that's a kind of a neat feature. For the price, this is highly cost effective. We've got a coupon code if you're interested in this. We'll save you 5% on your purchase. Down below, we've got a few links if you're interested. that Ecoflow has provided for us generously. That is great. Today's video is sponsored by Ecoflow. So let's go over some pros and cons. Some of the pros I see with this is its fast charging ability. I absolutely love the ability that it's fast charging. It's super lightweight. I love the ergonomics of the handle. And this has an industry-leading 5-year warranty. Most of them that I see, 2 years or 3 years max. I have not seen any that have a 5-year warranty. So that I think is definitely a pro. A couple of cons that I see with this device. I prefer to have the 12 volt with a plug here and protect it from getting debris or junk in there. I wish they provided a cover for this. And then the one thing I wish they had up here that I've had on other power banks is a Wi-Fi pad. I've gotten used to being able to just take my phone. This is not my phone, it's a remote. But I would love the ability to take my phone and set it on there and Wi-Fi charge on the top of it. That is a neat feature. It does not have Wi-Fi charging on the top. Is that a big deal? No. I can always plug in my cable, and with the USB-C port, it's fast charging. It'll charge way faster by plugging in the USB-C and be able to top your phone off that way. So is that a necessity? No. Is the plug cover a necessity? No. Does it take away from the overall design and aesthetics of the device? Not really. So with that, I think that's it. If you guys got any questions, please reach out, put it down in the comments. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Like you said, with their bundles, Ecoflow right now is running some deals. 5% off on your purchase. Check out the links down in the description. We get a conversation going. If you have any questions, we'll see what we can do to answer them. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.